Hello, my name is Ben Lovegrove, and in this video I'm going to share some thoughts about disinformation and UFO secrecy. As Dr. Stephen Greer once said, how do you keep a secret? You hide it in plain sight. He reminds us of the G.K. Chesterton quote, "Where does a wise man hide a leaf?" In the forest. But what does he do if there is no forest? He grows a forest to hide it in. We are familiar with the two main tools used to maintain the blanket of secrecy over UFO sightings for over 70 years, ridicule and denial. Mock those who step forward with their stories of close encounters, and deny that anything was ever observed, chased or captured by the military. Use the media to whip up the mob mentality, and have them encourage the finger pointing and the head shaking, all accompanied of course by the drearily predictable X-Files theme music. And if the sightings are seemingly overwhelming in terms of their duration and the number of witnesses, well, you can always get someone to dress up as an alien and reveal them in a press conference, as happened after the Phoenix Lights sightings during the 1990s. But there are other tools that are employed to great effect by those who would prefer that disclosure is delayed for just a little longer. One of these is disinformation. The definition of disinformation according to dictionary.com is deliberately misleading or biased information, manipulated narrative or facts, propaganda. By contrast, it defines misinformation as false information that is spread regardless of whether there is intent to mislead. So it can sometimes occur that an inexperienced researcher inadvertently continues the spread of misinformation by repeating claims that are untrue. All it takes is for one person to mistranslate some ancient text, or to rely on assumptions or a consensus of opinion. With the arrival of the web, the world's citizens were empowered with a means to share information in a way without precedent in human history. If you're trying to keep a secret, then the internet must be of great concern. So one option you have is to add as much disinformation as you can, so that the truth is hidden in a mass of false leads, hoaxes and contradictions. In other words, the truth is out there, but you can't see it for all the dross that surrounds it. Social media, in particular Facebook groups, has been clogged up with all kinds of deliberate or accidental hoaxes. There's everything from full streak holes with a little CGI added to make it look as if a light in the sky is creating the hole, to airstrikes on targets in Iraq and Afghanistan with a CGI added black triangle hovering above. In the end, it doesn't matter if you think the video footage is genuine or not. Without corroborating data, it's just an elusive hint at something. It generates more questions than it answers. The crop circle phenomena is another example of how a subject begins with a great mystery, but ends up shunted into obscurity by some well-planned hoaxes designed to discredit researchers. How the UFO and crop circle hoaxers must laugh at the reactions they generate. There have also been plenty of crop formations created by artists, but these came later, and it may be that the muse inspiring them may be an intelligence not of their own subconscious. You only have to get a researcher to fall for a fraud once to have his or her reputation irreparably damaged. Never mind if they were right 99 times. If you fool them once, then that day will forever be what comes to mind when their name is mentioned. Dogged, discerning and dedicated researchers have, over the years, found nuggets here and there and shared them with the public. But the media simply points at all the rubbish and says, "What about all this?" and ties up the author or researcher with questions of mass distraction until the audience gets bored and goes back to watching The Simpsons and the soaps. Undeterred by the cynicism and encouraged by those who react positively to their work, UFO researchers and authors continue. But research is expensive. These are amateur researchers, not taxpayer-funded government departments with multi-million-dollar grants. As well as time away from family and from gainful employment, researchers have to fund their own travel and accommodation. If they want to publish a book, there are expenses involved. If they want to make a film, then the investment is much larger. And all this is a risk. The books and the films may not sell, and you can end up in a serious amount of debt. As we know, some research organizations like MUFON fund some of their work by collecting subscriptions from members. But with UFO sightings numbering their thousands each year, the workload is huge. Recently, someone posted a comment under a post about Dr. Greer on Facebook saying, "He's only in it for the money." And I thought, how do you imagine his work is funded? He gave up a lucrative career in medicine to do this. He's had death threats. He's lost friends who have died prematurely and mysteriously. He's endured years of ignominy. And you're cynical because he's asking people to crowdfund another film? Incidentally, the crowd-funded film Serious Disclosure is now available to view for free. See the link below this video. Faced with a military-industrial complex with a multi-billion-dollar budget and with their hold on the media, it would seem like the ultimate David and Goliath scenario. But we have some pebbles in our slingshot. There are the whistleblowers like Bob Lazar. There are hundreds of hours of witness testimony collected by the Disclosure Project. There are people within the military-industrial complex who feel enough is enough. The public not only have a right, but a need to know the truth. There are the researchers, authors, and filmmakers. And there are the extraterrestrials themselves. If they decide to come a little closer, then time and events will leave the old era behind. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, please give this video a like and share it with others. I'd be interested to know your thoughts, so please add a comment below with your opinions or ideas. And keep watching the skies.